Hey gang, welcome back to Guns Up Review. Today we're going to talk about red dots one more time. I'm not going to tell you which one to get this time, but let's talk about how the heck do these things work? What does this red dot scope have to do with this? Come right back and I'll tell you. Okay, welcome back to Guns Up Review. Today we're going to talk about red dot scopes one more time. We're going to talk about how they work. If you remember, this is my little Ruger Mark II with my little Tasco red dot scope on there. I should not call it a scope, I should call it an optic, because it's not really a scope because it doesn't magnify. It's a 1x magnification. Now, today's episode is sponsored by Fiocchi. You can find them on Amazon. They sell all kinds of optics for shooting sports. They supply shooting glasses, all kinds of accessories, really inexpensive. I won't say cheap, I'll say inexpensive because they really are high quality. They've sent me several things and I've been very impressed with all of them. Okay, but today they sent me another red dot, but it's much smaller, really cool. This is the Fiocchi RDS-22, and I'll put a link for it in the description below. What do you get with this guy? Well, you get some packaging material. You get a cleaning lens, some tools to install it, plus an extra battery. You get your covers for your optic there, a little stretchy cord so you don't lose them. And then you also get a mount. So this is it's a kind of a low-rise little optic. But if you want to raise that up on your particular whatever you're putting it on, it has a little mount where you can raise that up, your optic up. So the thing I love about this is check out the size on this guy. It is so much smaller than this Tasco. I love the size of this. This thing is going to be less clunky. It's going to be something that's, you know, if you're going to do something that you're going to use and without having, you know, a 2.5 inch tall sight on top of, this is the way to go. I love this little thing. Matter of fact, I'd probably run it on this. I was looking for some other one of my pistols to run it on. Leave me a comment in the description where you think this would, what weapon would this be perfect on? I'm torn about what to put it on. But anyway, let me tell you a couple things about it right quick. It's got a brightness setting from 0 to 11. So it's got 11 different brightness settings on it. Easy to access windage and elevation knobs for adjusting that and sighting it in. And then a nice, an easy mount system there. It doesn't have a quick release. It is going to be an Allen screw for the mount. But anyway, love the size of this, and it just doesn't weigh anything, okay? So how in the world do these things work? You've heard people call these laser sights before, but that's really not true because there is no laser in this whatsoever, okay? The light that you see in a red dot is actually from an LED, a light emitting diode. That LED light is what allows these to run for so long with so little battery power. You know, these will run for 6 months on this one battery with continuous operation. So if I was using this as a duty weapon and this was on one of my duty weapons, you would want to leave that on so when you had to use it, it was ready to go. I turn mine off, but a lot of times I'll forget to and put it in my safe for a couple months and I'll come back and my battery's dead. But anyway, these last an extremely long time. So I'll tell you what do you see here is you see a clear lens on one side, and then I don't know if you can see this or not, but this side over here, the lens is kind of rosy or even golden looking, okay? And therein lies the secret of the red dot optic. So if you put this optic on, I'll put it on the highest setting, which is 11, okay? And I look through there, oh, I can see the red dot, it's on there quite bright. All right, I'm going to point it right at the lens. When I have it lined up on the lens, it's right there. Tell me if you can see a red dot. You shouldn't be able to, because what's this coating on this lens is the secret to this thing. So that LED is projecting that light forward onto that lens, but that coating, that particular coating, only allows all wavelengths of light except for red to pass through. The red is reflected, and so that red light is reflected back to me, so I can see it, but you can't. Let's see if I can. I don't know if you can. If I can hold it where you can actually see that or not, but I cannot see a red dot on there. but you should be able to. You probably see my hand wiggling quite a bit there. Okay, so I can't see it, but you can, because the red light is not coming through to you, it's reflected back to me. So how does that work? I mean, I don't see anything in there, so where is that light coming from? Well, and what does that have to do with a satellite dish that you showed earlier? Well, let me show you right quick, okay? Here's the teacher's favorite thing is a marker and a whiteboard, okay? This is how satellite TV works. You've got your satellite dish in your front yard, and you've got radio waves and all kinds of communication waves coming in from, let's say, outer space. By the time they get to the surface of the Earth, they're basically coming in straight and parallel to each other. And so when they hit this reflective surface, this parabolic surface, those rays or those waves are reflected always back to the same point, no matter where they hit on that surface. That point is called the focus point. Okay, and that's the secret, really, to the red dot scope. So how does that work? Well, I'm getting an eraser here. The red dot scope works like this. Let's just erase this here, and maybe some of that. Okay, there you go. All right. So here's how the red dot works. Is I've got a red dot here, and that's down below the edge of my parabolic lens. The light, the red light, is emitted onto that parabolic surface, and then that parabolic surface reflects those light rays back parallel to my eye. So it works the exact same way that a satellite TV dish works. Instead of receiving the information, this is transmitting the information. And so it transmits here and then back to me, and I receive that in my eye. So that's kind of the secret of how the red dot scope, or I keep saying scope, optic works. And that's also what gives these very low parallax, because those light rays are being reflected straight to my eye. So if I look at that off to the side, I can't see that red dot, because that red dot is over here, right? So I have to get that in straight line in order to see that, because those red light waves are coming straight back parallel to me. And that's what takes away the parallax out of that red dot scope. So it makes them very easy and quick to acquire a target, low energy consumption, and it's super simple, because this is basically a housing with one little LED and a power control. That's all that's in there. And so there's really not a lot to these. There's not a lot that can go wrong. So if you want to pick up a super cool little red dot, go look up my friends at Fiocchi on Amazon. Again, I'll leave the link in the description. And get yourself one of these. I love this little thing. Tell me what you think this will be good on, and we'll talk about something interesting next time. Thanks for watching Guns Up Review. I'll see you next time.